Hello, everyone. This is Pam with Perfectly Holistic, and I am so excited to be back with everyone tonight. So happy Thursday. Let me know if you guys are watching, if you can hear me okay. Let me know where you're watching from. And we are also going to be on Instagram. Um, you know what? I just thought of something. What I need to do is change the setup for Instagram. So, guys, hang on just a second. Um, I'm going to move this over to directly from my phone so I can actually see your comments. Just a second. Let's get this started. We'll add that later. Okay, so awesome. Okay, so we are live on Instagram. So I can actually see your comments tonight and respond accordingly. So I'll give it a couple minutes to get all set up. So anyway, how is everyone? I'm going to come back over here to comments. All right, I think we are set. Anyway, hi Bonnie. So you guys let me know you're here so I can say hi to you. I love connecting with you guys and supporting you. Tonight is all about holistic cat care, and we are talking about what concerns you. So if you have questions, drop them in the comments because we're going to go. I'm here to help you and support you guys and give you ideas, inspiration, just sharing things that I have learned from amazing, very smart people like integrative and holistic vets and cat professionals. So it can be anything. Try my knowledge tonight. And if I don't know, I'll tell you. So Paige says, "Hi, love the Q&As. Thank you so much. It's nice to have you here." And I think Bonnie is here. And let's see, Fur Friend of Nala is here. How are you guys? Asking for a friend. When their cat throws up a lot, what should they do? That's a great question. And if you go to a traditional vet, they're going to say, oh, it's normal for cats to throw up, but it's common, but it's not normal. So one of the first things that I would ask is, what are you feeding the kitty? Or what is their friend feeding the kitty? Because diet plays a huge part of digestive health. And if we get that wrong, then we're kind of setting up the cat for problems down the road. So that would be my first question, though. So if you know the answer to that, drop it back in the comments and then we can kind of go from there. But diet is a big deal when it comes to the whole vomiting thing. The other most common thing I see in the work that I do with the energy healing is emotional blocks. Those can contribute also to vomiting. It depends on what they're vomiting, what time of day. Like, we have to look at the big picture and all the circumstances around it, and the energy. Does that make sense? So let me know first what they're eating, because that's the first thing I always check off, and then we can go from there. Bonnie says Jasper has muscle wasting and the yeast infection in his ears is back. I think the ion gut and catalyst and gut soothe are helping for sure. The muscle wasting, we know he is an older kitty, but we need to make sure that he's eating really good, high quality protein that's digestible. We don't want to minimize the protein. And I'm going to say hi to the two crazy cat ladies that are here. I love you guys so much and I miss you. We need to do a Zoom meeting and catch up. So yes, the gut support products you're using are awesome, but I would say it's probably something he's eating that's contributing again to the yeast. And with cats, it can be food issues that when they develop the yeast or the ear infections, it can be the food that's contributing to that. Obviously, there's a gut imbalance on some level. So looking at potential sources of that first, I would look at the foods. She says he's on Identity Wet and gets rehydrated raw. So like a freeze dried that's been rehydrated. He also started eating a bit more raw food now. Awesome. Look at the protein of the identity. So, for example, if it's turkey and that's what he eats throughout most of his diet, try changing the protein and then see if that helps minimize, or if you start to see the candida start to go away, then you'll know it was the protein that he's having an issue with. There is obviously there's homeopathy you can look at, like maybe a Candida 200C for it's homeopathic remedy for treating candida. So that's one of the things that you can look at. But I would look at the diet first and see if you can switch something up and change those proteins first. Because, the thing is, and you guys have heard me talk about this a lot, we can treat a symptom, but if we don't get to the root cause, it's going to keep coming back. So peel a few more layers away and take a deeper look at why it's happening. Because, for example, in this case, if it is a protein that's causing that, we need to change the proteins and try a different one and give his body time to stop feeding the candida with the food that it likes so much, and then it goes away. And then, of course, healing the gut. We got to continue working on that. So I hope that helps you, Bonnie. Okay, Gumpeck over here to Paige. She says dry kibble and some wet food. Okay, so Paige, the reality is the dry kibble is probably why he's throwing up so much. The starches can be 30% up to 60% carbohydrate, and a cat doesn't have the amount of amylase needed to break down those starches. It's not part of their natural diet. So what happens is their stomach is getting all of this carbohydrate material, and their pancreas that is supposed to digest it and break it down is like, what is this? I don't know what to do with this. So a lot of times it just comes right back up. So I would say take away the dry food and feed him a wet, species appropriate diet that's high moisture. Stick with the wet food. Make that primarily, if that's what you can do, make that his meals, like all of his meals. If you feed an all-day buffet, pick it up and put him on a meal schedule. Okay, so that's what I would do. The first thing I would do is no dry food, meal schedule, keep him on the wet food diet, and you will probably see a change really quick. They stop vomiting when we give them the food that they can actually digest. So the other thing that you can do, and Jane Adrian will appreciate this, is adding a product called Catalyst. It's by Feline Essential. We do carry it at purrrfectlyholistic.com, shop.purrrfectlyholistic.com. It's a digestive enzyme. So adding some digestive support for the pancreas is awesome if your cat's vomiting a lot. But again, I would definitely check the foods and make some changes there first. Okay, Shruthila, and I apologize in advance if I just butchered your name. She says, hi. One of my kittens, 7 months old, throws up the tiny bones in the Viva Raw rabbit sometimes. He throws up carrots from raw dynamic rabbit food. Why is he not digesting it? I'm not sure what to do. He throws up after a few hours, not immediately. I have been giving him probiotics, amino B-plex. He doesn't do good with any other protein. I have tried turkey, chicken, Darwin's. Okay. He eats every 12 hours, nothing in between. Okay, I'm gonna go on a little sorry for the pun, but a rabbit trail here. He's 7 months old and he's having digestive issues. We need to figure out why he's having digestive issues, because that's not natural. That's not the right word. That's not normal for a 7-month-old kitty. So something is upsetting his digestive tract. Okay. My first thought is, has he been checked for parasites? Number 2, has he been vaccinated? Because vaccines contribute to immune stress and gut health issues that young and older, but specifically 7 months old. He should be able to digest the tiny bones, because that's just, cats do that in the wild. They can eat the bones, and I know they're super, super tiny. The fact that he is super picky and only wants the one protein also tells me that there is a gut health issue. So we need to do a little deeper diving and figure out what is upsetting the balance in his GI tract and his immune system. Jay says, is he the cat that came from a shelter? Is he, a cat that came from a shelter? That's a great question. She says he came from a shelter. Okay. And yes, he's been vaccinated and he's been tested for parasites. Okay. So I know shelters, God love you, but you're over vaccinating your animals and you're vaccinating them too much, too soon. You're not spreading them out appropriately. Just things have changed and we need to stay up with the newest, latest, greatest information. So I suspect that get him on some vaccine detox. I have a program in my shop that will help you detox the vaccines that he was given from the shelter. If he has parasites, if his fecal test has come back positive, there's a great dewormer called Wormex by Feline Essential that is awesome. It is safe for cats. He might, antibiotics can definitely contribute to gut health issues. And he was probably neutered. Was he neutered before you took him home? If that's the case, then you're going to have, it's like a toxic burden on the body. Jay, you know what? If you are not busy, would you like to pop in and be like my guest co-host tonight? Because I can send you a link. Just let me know. I think it'd be fun to have you here. But yeah, vaccines, dewormers, antibiotics, and neuter all equal gut health issues, especially 7 months old. So I would look at detoxing the vaccines because that can help bring the immune system back into balance, which shares real estate with the gut. Okay, is the digestive tract. It's all the same space. So if you're going to have immune system issues, you often have gut health issues. So I would probably do that first. Once we get his gut in balance and we detox all the nasty stuff out of him, then working with changing the protein can come with some energy work. It can help with picky cats, get them onto different proteins, but he just may not have the gut flora that's needed to be able to break down other proteins. Oh, she says, haha, I'd love to, but not a place to jump on. No worries. No worries. Okay, so yeah, if you want to learn more about the vaccine detox, you can go to my shop.purrrfectlyholistic.com. It's under products, under vaccine detox program at the very bottom of the drop-down menu, and you can get one of those. It's only $10, but it outlines the whole process, what to use. He's so young. It's not going to be super, super in depth like most older cats that have had multiple years of this. So, yeah, but don't give up hope because, probiotics can be fine. But I feel like there's something more toxic going on that's disrupting everything. Jay says, we see this all the time, working on a rescue kit to help cats in this exact situation. Just need to rebuild the gut and detox the vaccines. Yep, absolutely. And then you're going to have a happy, healthy kitty. And we have to maintain that health going forward with just being really smart about the food that they're given and, future vaccines. Most of them aren't even needed. And that's honest truth. So yeah. Let me see if there was anything else I did not answer. But yeah, I'll bet you that is why. I see it all the time. All the time. Okay, so okay. And I'm going to go back up here to Love is, she says, my cat has really dry poops, but he's well hydrated. Any idea what could be causing this? Actually, I do. Um, there can be physical issues going on. Even though he's well hydrated, it can be linked to food stressors. It's the type of food sometimes. Also, there is an emotional component of fear and root chakra blocks. So, with the chakra system, it's all about the flow of energy in the body. And the root chakra is affecting the large intestine. So, what I see commonly with some cats who have just an emotional block around something they're afraid of or not feeling safe, that energy center shrinks and it can affect the motility in the large intestines. And some cats can develop constipation. So, that's one idea. The other idea is maybe there's just not enough fiber in the diet. So if the poops are really like probably small too, small and dry, it's been in there too long. So it's motility, maybe lack of fiber, and maybe the energetics of emotional blocks. So look at what type of food he's eating, and you're welcome to drop it here, and I can maybe we can deep dive a little bit more on that. And I'm going to come over here to Instagram. Hey, Jay, I wanted to ask you, where's Adrienne? I haven't seen her in a while. Is she still floating around on social media? So I wanted to wave at some people over here on Instagram. Thank you guys for joining us. Let us know if you have any questions. This is all about you guys tonight, so I'm here to give you some ideas and inspiration. Let's see if I got, okay, I'm going to give Love is a chance to answer, and we'll see if we can keep moving on that particular question. You guys on Instagram, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I can see your comments tonight, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Bonnie says, Catalyst is amazing. Both my guys are on that, and it's not a probiotic, it's a digestive enzyme, but it is a wonderful product. Absolutely. Okay, let's see what else. She unalived Adrienne. No, you did not. I want proof of live. Have her text something. She's sitting right here beside me. Hi, Adrienne. Nice to see you virtually. Ginger says she did the detox protocol on her 3 rescues and it worked well. Awesome. Thank you, Ginger. Ginger says, I've had Bengals for years, have one now. They all tend to have dry poops on raw diets with great hydration. So I always add water to the food dish and have pre-made raw frozen with extra goodies. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's just okay. Here's the reality with raw food diets. Sometimes they don't put enough fiber, and some diets, depending on what you're buying, doesn't have much of any fiber in it. Like if you're doing prey model diets, so just keep that in mind. If we can provide a source of beneficial fiber, think of like coconut chips, pureed squash or pumpkin, psyllium husk with added water or broth to it. Those are great options. Adrienne says, I'm alive and loving this conversation. I'm so glad to know that. So back to the poop. We're always talking about poop. I love it. So yeah, fiber. If you can mince some like dark leafy greens, that's a great fiber source. Broccoli sprouts, chop them up. I mean, we're talking tiny, like a quarter teaspoon a day. There's just some cats like broccoli, some cats like green beans, some cats like broccoli sprouts. I mean, we're not talking a lot of vegetation here. We're just talking about a little bit. I see that, Adrienne. We're just talking about a little bit of fiber source. And if you can even supplement your raw food diets for the cats with different types of vegetable material that is very low glycemic, that really just provides a source of beneficial fiber. So it acts like a prebiotic food for the probiotics in the gut. Some cats need a little bit more than others. It's just there's not a one size fits all when it comes to nutrition. So I would just explore some opportunities and ways to see if you can work in a little bit of fiber into the diet and see how that goes. Susan says, you look so pretty. Thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate that. You make my day. Okay, Levis says he eats Petco's wholehearted grain-free chicken, turkey, beef, and I just started adding Lotus frozen raw. Awesome, which he really likes. Now, I'm familiar with the wholehearted grain-free. Is that the dry or is that the wet? Because you didn't distinguish on that. So I'm looking over here. I'm going to make sure I get all the information up in a row. I love the fact that he likes the Lotus. Lotus is it's a great brand for raw if you can get it. Okay, she says only wet food. Okay. I would try just add add some fiber source to that. Let's see what else. You can add some extra hydration. You can add something like bone broth, goat's milk. Green Juju has amazing products. Their raw goat's milk is great. They have some other foods too. I think there's like a green mixture. Gosh, I can't remember what it's called, but that's also an option that you can try. I would just say be creative. Try different ones. She says he gets 2 tablespoons of bone broth a day. That's awesome. Okay, so he just may need a little extra fiber. Try the pumpkin. You can try coconut oil, coconut chips, pureed squash, psyllium husk. Try like a 1/4 teaspoon or up to a half at the most. But start with a 1/4 and just see how that works. Just once a day. And just see if you give it a couple days and let it get going and then see how he does. And then if you need to add a little bit more, that's fine too. Susan says, I have been making Mia's food for 4 years. I can't believe it's been 4 years. Pork loin, sweet potatoes, spinach, and vitamins. I add a bit of omega-3. Her fur is still dull. Any suggestions? She's 19. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, she might need some. Okay, here's something I've learned with Dr. Karen Becker and Rodney Habib on some podcasts that they have. Not all cats absorb, or pets in general, they don't all absorb the omega-3s from their diet equally. So the only way to know if your pet is actually what their omega-3 levels are and how much they're actually absorbing is to have it tested. But fur being dull tends to remind me of just maybe a lack of some good, healthy omega-3 essential fatty acids, DHA, EPA. So that's really going to be in your salmon, your krill, your fish oils, things like that. You're going to have better success. So why don't you even add maybe some sardines and water to the recipe? Because that's also a food source of really good quality omega-3s. So yeah, I would try that. I don't think she's probably not absorbing enough, or she's not getting enough omega-3. That's what I would start with, I think. Yeah. And just see, try, okay, give her krill. She probably needs more, or just add sardines and water. Just when you go to the grocery store next time, just buy the little containers of the sardines that we get. My cats love those, and I give her a sardine a day. So just add it to her food. And I love adding food sources instead of a supplement, because sometimes, we can go overboard with supplements and it's all supplement and not enough food, and it's a big turnoff. So good. If she loves sardines, Susan, give her a sardine a day. and see how that makes a difference. Um, yeah, I would start with that since she likes it. I would do that. See how it goes. Because typically, if it's a fur, that's a skin and hair kind of issue. I tend to look at oils. So yeah, I would start with that. Early riser. I love these names. Early riser. I add pure pumpkin to our raw food, not too much for dry poops, plus added water. Yeah, that's awesome. Um, I love that. And one of the things that I do with our cat's food my cat's food every day is I put about 2 teaspoons of the green juju goat's milk, the raw goat's milk, into their foods twice a day. And it's loaded with beneficial bacteria, probiotics, and they're always changing because the goats that they get them from are always eating different grasses and fields and stuff they're rotating where they're eating and pastured and things like that. So, and seasonally, their food sources can change some. So, just adding something like the raw goat's milk into their food every day, it adds beneficial bacteria, and it's so nourishing. And actually, raw goat's milk is a complete food, even though that's not all we want to feed our cats. But it's so healthy for them, and so it has so many benefits. So you could consider trying something like that. Love is says, thank you so much. My vet claims it's because he gets dehydrated treats. And so I started hydrating them and no difference. Yeah, here's the thing. Dehydrated treats is not the same as giving a whole meal twice a day that's dehydrated. So it doesn't sound like that's really going to be the issue. I don't think you need to rehydrate the treats. They're meant to be treats, not meals. But I would try the fiber source first, and give it a week and see how things turn around. There's also homeopathic remedies that you can use for constipation, but I think what I would do if it was my cat, I would first try adjusting the food and the diet and the fiber source first, um, and then reevaluate. So we got to go to the root cause. Maybe there's just not enough fiber in there. So she says, I need a new vet. That's for sure. I know. It's hard to find a good vet that you love. Although I will make a plug real quick for our friends down in San Diego. If you guys are if you want to partner with an integrative holistic vet who does telemedicine, I have 2 friends. One is Dr. Barry Sands. You can find her at drbarrysands.com. That's Dr. DrBarrieSands.com. She does telehealth stuff. She's awesome. She's just an amazing human. And then Dr. Katie Kangas is also an integrative holistic vet out of San Diego who does telemedicine. And she is so knowledgeable in gut issues and all of that. And her website is intvetcare.com. So those are great people if you need help. Love says, I'm familiar with psyllium husk. It worked wonders for my last cat. Yeah, try it. And again, I wouldn't go overboard, but start with like a 1/4 teaspoon. And if that's helping, but not completely all the way, then just 3/4 of a teaspoon, no, that's not right. 1/4 to a 1/2 a teaspoon. I would bump up little small increments and just add a little extra moisture if you're going to use the psyllium and see how that works. Yeah. Okay, I want to go back over here to Instagram. Anybody over here, say hello to Livia and Zalati. Hi, how are you? Thank you for joining us tonight. Let me make sure I didn't miss any questions. Sorry for that. Just scrolling back up and just making sure. I don't want to ever feel like I'm overlooking someone. So let's see. Okay, I think I've got everything so far. So those are great questions. Scroll back down. Okay. Oh, here's another good one. Okay. So QWERTY, did I say that right? Says, would it still be worth using non-organic raw goat's milk? I have been unable to find organic raw goat's milk locally where I live. I'm not in the US, but there are small farms, so probably not so in 10. I don't know what that means. You know what? If they are local shop, I love supporting local farmers. So try and see. Here's what I would look at. Where they pasture their goats, are there a lot of farming communities that do a lot of spraying? You could talk to the goat farmers and ask them if they have to deal with a lot of, pesticides or glyphosate spraying. I don't know where in the world you live, but um, I would ask them, how clean is the ground that they live on and graze on. Um, Chances are it might be totally fine. So give it a shot. Absolutely. Um, oh, she says not so intensive farming. Yeah, give it a shot. I love supporting the small independent farmers. If you have a local farmers market that you guys can go shop at, that's awesome too. So yeah, you just have to, as I like to say, get out of the proverbial box. And when you can't find something if you don't have a really good independent pet store, we just have to start thinking of different ways to source things, and not necessarily, over the internet all the time, but just start looking for local resources. You'd be surprised what you might be able to find. So Susan also has a recommendation. She says South San Diego Vet Hospital, Dr. Jackie is also integrative and does NAET. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for dropping that link down here. That's great. I just don't think we can ever have enough awesome integrative holistic vets that are, still taking clients and don't have a 3-year waiting list. It's hard in some areas. Jay says, oh my gosh, we have so much to catch up on. Call us when you're done. Absolutely, I will. I certainly will. Yeah, let's see what else. Okay, so Early Riser says, with pumpkin, freeze it in ice cube trays and use as needed. That's exactly what I tell people to do too. Yoo-hoo! We are thinking alike. Because, like if you go to the store and you buy the whole 14-ounce can of cooked pumpkin, there is no way you're going to use that in 5 days before it goes bad in your refrigerator. So yeah, get some ice cube trays and just dish it out, cover it, put it in the freezer, and you are set to go. And just defrost one little cube at a time. It might last you for 2 or 3 days, and you're set. So that's awesome. I actually bought a pumpkin, like a real live pumpkin, this year, and it's on my porch, just for Thanksgiving season and fall and all of that. And so I'm going to cook the pumpkin. I've never cooked a pumpkin, I don't think, in my life, but I am going to cook the pumpkin, and then I'm going to freeze all the good pumpkin out of there. But I may also just take a portion of it, because it's a pretty good sized pumpkin. I probably don't need to cook all of it, and just put it out in my backyard and let the birds and the squirrels and everything just kind of nibble on the raw pumpkin, because I heard that they like that. So I'm going to try that. Okay, so, and then Adrian says, just want to say you're such an informative, compassionate beast. Thank you. Love you. I love you too. You're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you for calling me a beast. Okay. Michelle says, do you have any recommendations for a holistic item that works like Prozac? I have a cat who has behavioral issues and likes to pee outside the box. The Prozac really seems to make a difference, but I don't like him being on this long term. Yes. Okay, but before I answer that, I'm going to make you think differently. What do you think is causing the stress that's making him pee outside the box. So look at your whole environment. Are there multiple pets? Is there disresonance between the animals? Like, is there one that likes to bully another? How is the energy in the home? How many litter boxes do you have? Because cats need at least two. One cat needs at least two litter boxes because sometimes they like to pee in one and they like to poop in another. So that is very important. And I want to know where outside the box the cat pees because it's not such an easy question to answer. So when we take a 40,000 foot view and we look at it holistically from a spiritual, emotional, physical perspective, we want to know why the cat is doing that rather than just say, here, take a supplement or take this medication because I don't like your behavior. I like to go figure out, look at things from the cat's perspective and go, why are you doing this and how can I help you? Because it's not beneficial for the cat and it's certainly not wanted in your home when they do that. And yeah, I don't blame you. No one likes inappropriate elimination. So I would want to know a little bit more about the environment and all of that so that maybe we can just nip the root cause in the bud and then you don't need any medication or supplement. She says, I believe it is due to the amount of cats I have. He is actually the bully. I have 1 box per cat plus 3 extras. He pees all over the bed, walls, couch. Ooh, okay. So a cat, he's the bully. Have you ever heard this scenario? Like the bully is actually the fraidy guy who has, inferiority complex. If you think about the way you grew up in school, who was the bully? They always picked on the kid that was, couldn't defend himself or was the weakling or whatever because they wanted to make themselves feel better. Bullies are just fraidy cats, in my opinion. In this type of situation, I sense that he's afraid of the other cats. And so he is trying to send a message saying, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, and I don't feel safe. So I'm going to put my son here and here and here. So cats who do that, there can be multiple reasons. And I agree, it's probably the other cats. You have to look at the relationships. We want to make sure that he feels safe. Are they all fixed? Are some of these cats going through like sexual maturity as they're fighting a lot, things like that? Because that tends to be either fear and trying to make themselves feel safer, feel more secure. So I would look at, you probably have enough litter boxes. Where are they located? Like if they're in areas where the cat is going to feel like he's trapped when he's in the litter box and someone is over here waiting to pounce on him when he comes out of the litter box, that's not a good thing. So those are the kinds of behaviors you have to look for. If there's if he's doing a lot of the bullying, he's feeling insecure to some degree. So their energy work actually is one of many great ways to help resolve emotional blocks due to what we call disresonance between pets. It can clear that negative energy that they hold toward each other or feel because of each other so that we can kind of clear the air. So that's something that you can do. And then the Feline Essential Cat Calm, it sounds like all of your cats probably need it. Okay. Because in some degree, they're all creating stress. So yeah, put them on the Feline Essential Cat Calm and see how that goes. Also things like maybe he needs his own space, his own area, so that he can feel safe. I don't know how big your cats are or your house is. She says all cats are spayed and neutered and have been together for many years. He has not always done this. He started when he was around 2 and it has been going on for about 3 years. Yeah, the 2, that's like that to me says sexual maturity. I want to be the boss and I want to be in charge, and I don't maybe is he smaller than the others, or is he bigger than the others, or maybe about the same size? So yeah, he's trying to either show dominance, or he doesn't feel safe with all the other cats, being the young one. That can definitely create some tension. And you just look at the overall interactions and the relationships, how they interact together, who he gets along with well, if there's anybody, and if, who he doesn't. And that's who I would really focus on. The herbs like the cat calm, color therapy like red to help them feel safe. Green is very grounding and can help cats feel safe. What else? What other color? Purple is great for anxiety and nervousness. So if he's one of those, or if you have cats that are just anxious around other cats, try some color therapy. Put something that's those colors in different places around the house, and they'll gravitate to that frequency. It's all about the energy and helping them feel calmer, safer, things like that when they need it. What else was I going to suggest? I really think, rather than trying to just focus on the supplement or the meds, look at the bigger picture. There are a couple of people that I know that do feline behavior consulting. One is Dr. Marcy Koski, Feline Behavior Solutions. Is that right, Jay and Adrian? And then the ladies from Rita and Linda. Gosh, what is their website? I just totally went blank. If you're listening, Jay, drop it in the comments. Oh goodness, yes. Can't remember their website or their company name, but work with a feline behaviorist who can really try to identify the triggers and the stressors and help you work through that. One Cat Behavior Alliance. Thank you so much. Whew. Thank you. So yeah, two great people, or two great organizations, Dr. Marcy Koski and Cat Behavior Alliance. I would check them out because, he's 2. Relationships with cats are a lifetime commitment, and you don't want to deal with this for the next 20 years. So I would say work on the relationships. And if you need energy work, I'm your girl. So I can help you with that side. Okay. And clean it as best as you can. If you have a really good enzyme cleaner, I know Icky Poo is one. Scout's Honor has a really good one for urine and sprays and nasty stuff that really, really works great. But clean those scents, get all that smell out. That you've got to do that for sure. Thank you for posting and sharing those links. I appreciate it so much. Okay, let's go back up to Love Is. Okay, so going back to her question, this is about the constipation. Of all of the raw protein options, chicken, beef, pork, rabbit, venison, lamb, which are the most beneficial and which should be limited, if any? You know what? I am of the opinion, from everything I have learned, the more diverse you can make their microbiome, their gut, the better. I don't see any problem with any of those proteins. A lot of companies like Viva Raw, like Lotus, like Primal, what's the other one I was thinking of? Darwin's has multiple varieties. There's just, Hair Today. Nothing wrong with rotating all of those. If your cat likes them, go ahead and feed them in rotation or little combinations, So diversify their gut, diversify their microbiome. That's my best advice. So yeah, use them all, rotate them all. Let me see. I'm going to wave to some people over here on Instagram. Thank you guys. There's Amber, there's Coco Jet, the Kate Sharpie. I like that name. Airplane GX, awesome. And Delph Blue, hey girl, all the way up in Canada, joining us. That's awesome. Okay, let me go back over here. We're having some fun tonight. Let me see. Okay, hold on. I think I missed one. Okay, Early Razor. Sorry I missed your comment. So folks here in the high desert also cut up the pumpkin if they don't use it for the wild animals. Yeah, that's awesome. I wish I had deer. I don't have deer. That's not my part of town. I'm on the wrong side of the highway. We don't get deer over here. Otherwise, I would get a whole separate pumpkin and just cut it up and let the deer eat it because I know they love it. Yeah, that's so fun. I can't wait to try it. Susan says food saver is great for freezing the leftovers. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Susan says diarrhea from food, does that require more fiber? It can. Fiber can help firm up the stool if there's not. But typically there's something that's causing the diarrhea. So like if a cat's going along and they're all great, life is good, and they have normal stools, and all of a sudden they start to have diarrhea, I would look at, okay, what changed? Did we change a protein? Did we change their food somehow? Was there some emotional energy that was bad? So something caused the body to go out of balance. Okay, so I want to look at that first. And if you can figure out what triggered it, that's great. Because typically, cats don't just go around and get diarrhea from food unless they're in a transition, like from a poor quality diet to something better sometimes, or maybe a new protein that they haven't really had before, and it can make things soft. Dr. Karen Becker would suggest in a situation like that, you don't keep transitioning to the new food until the poop is normalized. So if you're given a little bit of the new with the old and they get a little soft stool, just wait it out until their stool is firm again before you start increasing more of the new, and you just go slow like that. And that way you don't overwhelm the microbiome with all these new proteins that their microbes have to break down when they may not be ready to do so. That's where goat's milk can also come in and help too. So, okay. Love is says he does. I know you were answering a question. So if he likes all those, then yeah, okay, good. He likes them all. Great. Feed them all. That's what I would do. Okay. Susan says, I don't change Mia's food hardly ever, but she gets explosive diarrhea. Well, I would do some exploration as to what's going on in the gut. There's a microbiome. There's a gut issue if she gets explosive diarrhea. So something is contributing to that kind of imbalance. Maybe some inflammation, maybe some food sensitivity. If you haven't changed her food, then, cats who eat the same thing all the time there is a possibility of developing food sensitivity. So try changing the recipe if you can and see if that stops the diarrhea. And if it does, then you know that it was the food. Probably a protein, because I know that what you said was in the recipe. I'm going to go back up here and find what you said. Wasn't, it wasn't like inappropriate. So let's see. I'm going back. Okay, sweet potatoes, spinach, vitamins. So she's been eating pork. Why don't you try changing out the sweet potato and changing out the pork? Sometimes changing out the source of the sweet potato, like if that could be a fiber source, right? If you were to switch that out for something else, I know you're using it as a vitamin source, most likely. Try changing the pork loin into something like turkey or bison or something like that if she can do that, or even chicken. If she hasn't had different proteins in a long time, it would be interesting to see if that would make a difference. So, yeah, explosive diarrhea is not good for sure. Alternating proteins is definitely the best way to go. Yeah. Let's see. Now, in the meantime, if you need help balancing some of that, like homeopathy is awesome. You could try either arsenicum album or nux vomica, but I'm kind of leaning toward arsenicum because I suspect it might be more food related. So arsenicum album 30C, and then maybe 3 doses and just see how she does. It could be simple as that, and then work on changing the food. So yeah. And Miss Nina Marina joined. Hi guys, how are you? Let us know if you have any questions, guys, on Instagram. We're going to be wrapping up here in a couple minutes, but we still have a little bit more time. Srithila says, again, I apologize if I just butchered your name. Is cold pressed, unrefined virgin coconut oil safe for cats to begin with food? Absolutely. Yeah, my favorite brand is Cocoa Therapy. Yes, absolutely. Coconut oil has so many benefits. And if cats like it, just offer it to them as like a little treat. You can certainly put it in their food. Some cats will just like lick it off of a little spoon. You could just do a little quarter teaspoon, half a teaspoon a day, and it's great. So if you guys want to learn more about the benefit of coconut oil, go to cocotherapy.com and look at their website. They've got tons of information. They've got studies. They have a blog. It's great. And those ladies are awesome. So yeah, definitely go check them out. But yeah, super fan. And interestingly, my cats aren't super fond of coconut oil. So it's sitting in my pantry. So I'm eating it. So that's okay. I like that. That's awesome that they go crazy for it. Yeah, that's good. You know what? And I need to try it with my kittens who aren't kittens anymore. But my 2 older ones are not super crazy about it. Probably because I used to brush their teeth, and that was like the base of the toothpaste that I made for them, and they probably have a negative association with coconut oil because of that. But I need to try it with my younger ones because yeah, it's super healthy for them. Okay. What else you guys want to talk about? This has been fun. Speaking of gut health, I'm just going to give a quick plug right here. I did an interview today with Dr. Betsy Redmond with Innovative Pet Labs, and we're going to be dropping that probably sometime in the next week or two, that talks about gut health testing. They have a comprehensive gut health test for cats that you can order and send in a poop sample, and it's amazing. So if you have a cat with gut health issues, you can definitely look at doing something like this test, and it's made for cats. So it's awesome. So look for that video to drop here within the next couple of weeks, I would say. We can get it out. And let's see what else. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. The comprehensive, one more thing. The comprehensive gut health test is actually in our shop.purrrfectlyholistic.com under testing kits. So we're an affiliate for them. So definitely check that out if you want to learn more about your cat's gut health condition. If you're having gut health issues with your cat, it's a great place to start. Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. And before I forget, I just want to do one more little plug, and then I'm going to wrap this up. If you guys want to learn how to muscle test and take it like to the nth degree and really deep dive and master the skill, I have a private program called Mastering Muscle Testing for Healthy, Happy Pets. So if you're a dog mom, if you're a cat mom, or cat dad, dog dad, doesn't matter. This program, it's a self-paced course that you can just do on your own time, and we have monthly coaching calls. So it's awesome if you want to really develop your intuition and learn how to work with charts and do energy clearing work and learn about how to use holistic remedies and things like that that would apply for whatever your cat's dealing with. It's just, it is so empowering, and that is one of the reasons I created it, so that you guys can be empowered, whether you have a great holistic integrative vet or if you don't. Just being able to take things into your own hands and take your pet's health into your own hands and be their advocate to the best that you can be, and to learn things and find out about their bodies. So it's a great program. If you are interested in learning more about that, just book a discovery call with me, and I will put the link to that here in the comments as well. Love is says, do you have these Q&As the first Thursday of every month? Yes, the first Thursday of every month we do a live Q&A, and I'm going to go grab real quick this link so that I can drop it in while I'm thinking about it. And we'll go put this back over here. Okay. Before I wrap it up, I just want to remind everybody that the most important question you should be asking, no matter what is going on with your cat, is why is it happening? So don't be afraid to peel back the layers, look for the why, and that will help you determine what to do. So even in the holistic world, we can get very myopic and just focus on a symptom and, try to fix something. But unless we really address the root cause of the problem, the symptom is always going to be there. It's going to resurface. Things are not going, whatever you're doing won't last. And it's not going to fix the root problem. So we want to provide a true healing approach. So when we look at things from the emotional, the spiritual, the physical side all in one, because they all connect, then you're going to get real results. You can get real healing. So remember, start asking the question why, and then go from there. Dig into stuff. Dig into your cat's health records and health history. Look at the environment. Look at the food. See if you can just put your detective hat on and then join the Mastering Muscle Testing program, and you can really learn how to deep dive into all that. So, okay. With that, we are going to wrap this up. I appreciate you guys spending time with me. I hope this was fun. Thank you guys for all your questions. You can always reach me at pam@purrrfectlyholistic.com. Check out our website, which is purrrfectlyholistic.com, and our store, which is shop.purrrfectlyholistic.com. And until then, we will see you next month for Q&A, but we have a couple of events between now and then. So just be checking the streams, the feed on our Facebook and YouTube and Instagram for all of the posts of all of our events coming up. So thank you. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.